No, I've done a little bit of traveling, but now I'm really not that interested in going afar. There's too much to see right close
Yeah.
that I haven't even seen yet. Tourists are coming here to see what we've got, and we don't even go to see it ourselves. So,
Alright, my first little question is how did you get into the ice business?
we had sold all the cattle, had a few dollars, not very much. We got $4,500 for the cattle, and we saw it in the paper, ice business for sale. So I went to talk to them. That was it.
When did you buy the ice business?
Almost 20 years ago, this December.
Who did you buy the business from?
A man named Todd Howard.
The big question is why did you buy an ice business?
Harold saw the business in the newspaper, in the Bravo Recorder and Times, and he thought it'd be a good business for the kids to work at in the summer.
Di wanted to, she thought a convenience store would be great. I didn't think a convenience store was great. Said, I'm not going to sit there hour after hour. But the ice worked out well. It's been good.
And what was people's reactions when you said, hey, we're buying an ice business?
Well, I think it was more or less like, what is an ice business, and is it blocks or cubes, or is it ice? That when you say that you work at an ice business, they think it's something to do with hockey.
How did people react when you announced I'm going into the ice business?
Oh yeah, he crazy. One of my brothers, no, one of Ben's friends, he says, we laughed like hell at you. He says, but for everybody else, like, I guess they didn't think it was crazy, just that they never gave ice any thought as to profitability. Like it was just wasn't on. You took it for granted all the time. You go get a bag of ice.
Yeah.
Never even gave a second thought as to where it came from. And I did it myself. We'd go to the beach. You go get some soft drinks for the kids and yourself, and a bag of ice, and away you go. Never gave it a second thought as to where this stuff came from.
Nope.
So, and then all of a sudden, you was it. You were the guy that was making the ice.
What did you think when your older brother came to you and said, I'm buying the ice business?
I said, well, I was a little surprised knowing that I didn't know about the Jack Fry's business, but didn't know nothing about it. But anyways, I thought, why not, you know? and then, you know, when they got going, they kept saying how many new businesses picking up. I thought that was pretty good. But the way them two ran it, I thought, you know, I'm not surprised. They were working hard at it, but anyways, they done a good job.
What was that first year like? What was the biggest thing that you had to learn?
The first year was tough because we both worked full time, and actually the first time that I delivered ice was in the middle of a snowstorm, which I thought was really weird. And we were waiting for the cubers to drop so we could get enough ice to deliver.
No, the equipment, I guess, was the biggest thing. I guess the fact that our ice doesn't melt as fast as the competition's ice, and the fact that we don't know really why, other than possibly the impurities that are in the water. They may be using RO water, which will freeze faster because it's pure water.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can come up with. I've never had it tested other than for bacteria, and we've never tested it. The impurities are in it compared to RO water. I've never done that.
It's just good old Plum Hollow spring water.
No, it's not even spring water. It's just well water.
You were a school teacher
Yes.
while you were running the business, and I guess before this became kind of the full-time thing. Did those two worlds ever intersect? Did you ever have to bring ice for a school event?
Yes, I still take ice for school events, for track meets and different events they're having at school, or if our own grandchildren need ice for their school events, we donate the ice for that as well. Relay for Life, or if they're having barbecues, we'll donate the ice for them. And as far as teaching, it was always a little bit of a juggling act for May and June when the ice business got really busy, and then we had to do a little bit of juggling and delivering after school. Harold would work afternoons sometimes, so he'd deliver in the morning, and then I'd deliver at night. Or when Mitch was tiny, then I'd wait till he went to bed, and then I'd come and bag ice until 11 o'clock at night.
I remember you once tried to boycott the Athens grocery store because they decided to go to Arctic Glacier.
Yeah, so they wanted, the new company went into, or new owners went into the Athens grocery store and Fresh Mart, and then they decided to go with Arctic Glacier instead of us, which they didn't know us. And so that was 1 year, a long time ago, and I haven't been in the store yet. So
It's gone pretty successfully.
yes.
I think one big observation that anyone who meets your family has is that they like to talk.
Yeah, I think that's the same with a lot of people.
So,
You just don't know enough to shut up when you're supposed to.
do you have any idea where the gift of the gab comes from? Or is it just...
Yeah, certainly wasn't my father, that's for sure. He never said all that much. And I don't know.
It was an interesting experiment that kind of just happened once, that you like to talk, Kenny likes to talk, Joe likes to talk, Jeff likes to talk, and you guys were all visiting one day when I was here. And so I stood around and saw who's gonna talk the most.
Yeah, which one was it?
It was Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny talked the most, but Joe was the loudest.
Yeah. The what were we doing? I can't remember what it was. And I said, now just shut up and listen. So all the kids shut up and listen. Kenny and Joe couldn't do it. They were the only two that talked. And the kids did shut up and listen. But Kenny and Joe, they had to open their mouth.
Telling you, we gotta sit still and listen to this app. I have done that. I have heard that when we first started back there, and it is pretty neat. But I don't know. Joe can talk too. Everybody bugs me. I'm the one, but Joe can tell stories.
Well,
Jeffrey's not as so much, maybe.
somebody had to be the quiet one.
Yeah, Heather can tell the story maybe a little clearer than the rest of us do.
I remember one of the stories you told that stuck with me because it took about 2 hours to tell, but it was
Yeah.
the time that you
Oh.
got the best breakfast you've ever eaten, which was in Montreal.
Oh, there's in Montreal. There was a couple down there. The only regular place I would stop at was the Tim Hortons, but the rest of the places I always look for a non-franchise, family-run restaurants. And in Quebec, there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
and so I lucked out on a lot. I would ask somebody where's a good place to eat, and that was, family-run most. No franchises at all. Just that's the way I've always been. Just like that, I was always going to take Kathy up to this one. I found out back up Highway 5. I think it was Maniwaki, up
Yeah.
that way, and it was always a nice drive. And we never did get up there, but and I was waiting in a place and they were taking too long, and I just said, "Where can I go to get something to eat?" And he goes, "Right there." It was just a house, and my God, it was just like walking into Mom and Dad's house. Older woman and little French accent, and great big meal, and I gave her $10 and I was gonna give her more, and she said, no, it's not that much. And then she thought, no, I said, well, keep it for a tip. She thought it was too much of a tip,
Really?
really. And it was a big plate full, plus I had to take dessert. She said, you gotta take dessert, and I said, dessert goes with that? So then I got a great big coconut cream pie,
Wow.
and it was crazy. And I wish I had got back up there, but some of the places you're in and out and you never get back up. But it's just for the drive, it was worth up along, because you go up along a river and you just wind up through, because it's over an hour drive up north of Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite the country. But yeah, I just love places like that. Time we took Heather to her university there, we accidentally came across a family-run restaurant with my dad, mom, Jeffrey, and his friend was with them, and Kathy and I, and we were looking, everybody was busy, and these people just said, oh, we got a back room. That many of us, and they threw us in a back room, and it was just, even mom and dad couldn't believe it, and then brother Jeff was really bugging them, and so the waitress gave it right back to him, pretend they forgot to take his order. And you don't get that at a franchise, eh? So,
No.
but that was another time Heather was embarrassed because the way Jeff was acting. No, I really enjoy the family orientated businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm hoping the guy, I don't know him that well, I didn't know his name there, but hopefully he keeps Harold and Diane's thing they built going, and
Yeah.
because it's 20 years is a long year, you think. I didn't even realize it was that long when they said how long they got it.
You hire people mostly from your family. How has that worked out?
Really well. No, they come, they're all dependable. They come when you ask them, and no, it's been really good, especially this year. They all are helping us get through till we're finished.
Oh, it's been good. Well, as you can tell, it's quite entertaining. And that's what we'll miss the most, is the kids all showing up after school, and then you got to have the treats and the cookies and feed them, or when the kids show up in the morning and they haven't had breakfast, well, you got to feed them breakfast to get them to go around and take some ice off to keep the machines running, and then they got to come in for some oatmeal. So, and then they go back to work and wonder why the machines are full again. Well, that was hilarious. But no, it's been fun. But we've been lucky. We've always had a good bunch of people working for us, and it's worked out well.
Oh. Do they want to see my toe?
I don't want to film your feet.
Why?
I'm gonna sit like this.
Oh, the show Joe, thank you. Alright. How are you related to Harold and Diane?
Well, Uncle Harold, he's my uncle.
That makes sense.
He's my grandparents.
My dad is... No, Poppy is my dad. That's right, yeah. Harold is...
Harold is not your dad.
No, Harold is my dad's dad.
So he's your grandfather.
No, he's my Poppy.
Okay, he's your Poppy. But he's also your grandfather.
Yeah.
Harold's my uncle, and I guess Di's technically my aunt.
Yeah. You got that right.
Yeah! Points for me and not Bailey.
When did you start working at Jack Frost Ice?
Don't know.
No guesses?
End of June.
Why did you decide to work here?
I got forced to. By my mom.
2021?
Okay, that's a long time. Why did you decide that you were going to work there?
Because I was broke and young and not employed and I needed money.
I would say about 2 years ago.
2 years?
Yep.
And you've stuck with it that long?
First there, like in between 2 and 3 years ago, I started trying it, and then I left for a bit, but then I came back, and especially this year, I've been working a lot more, so it's been great this year.
Yeah, you've been doing 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So when did you start working at Jack Frost Ice Bailey Knapp?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And why did you decide to work here?
I was kind of forced, but also the money.
He is good. What do you use your money for?
A lot of clothes.
Surf it up, Bert. What's your favorite part of working at Jack Frost Ice?
It's very casual and there's like no rules.
What's your least favorite part of working at Jack Frost Ice?
It's very casual and there's no rules.
What's your favorite part of working here?
I don't know.
Nothing?
No, I don't know.
You don't even like the money?
Money's nice, but money doesn't bring you happiness.
That's true.
Either the money or the socializing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who do you like to socialize with the most?
Everybody. Just not
Even
really.
Eamon?
Yeah. Like Eamon's, it's okay. Sometimes he talks too much. Doesn't tie the bags, but it's okay.
What's your least favorite part of working here?
Be constantly wet and probably working with Bailey.
What's wrong with Bailey?
She won't shut up.
Probably not finding bins, and then you just have to stand there and
Wait for bins.
yeah. And they never come, and then you're there for like years.
What's your best story from working here?
I don't know, tripping over Ross's foot, falling face first in front of him.
Yeah, that was a highlight for you?
Yeah,
Okay, you're a humble man, I guess.
yeah, I guess so.
Do you have any good stories that might have resulted from a lack of rules there?
Probably all the fights, like throwing ice or water at another person just because you can, and who's gonna say no?
That's true. Nobody really supervises.
There's no supervision.
Maybe just on trying to do trick shots with the ice, chuck them in the little hole. We still haven't gotten that.
No, Riley's the only one.
Yeah, really. He is.
Will you feel sad when the business is sold?
No.
Yeah. I mean, usually I'm here about once or, well, at least once a week. Now it's be more. But I'm not doing ice here. I won't be here till maybe the winter to do maple syrup, spring there. But yeah, that'd be the only other time I'm here. Say hi, Colonel. Hi.
Hi, Colonel.
And then there's Bert.
Whoa. And he stinks.
And he stinks.
Bro, you need to be washed.
Because he goes. I was wondering about Bert.
Bert,
Yep.
I didn't have much say in the matter. Somebody grew up with a yellow lab, and we were offered the choice of because we weren't sure we wanted to get another dog, and when somebody phoned and said there was an order canceled at the breeder, were we interested? And I didn't even get much of a say to it before the answer was yes, we'll take it. So, anyways, that's how Bert ended up here. I did get to name him though.
Where did Bert come from?
Don't know, because the last one was named Bruce.
You like bee names?
I guess that was just whatever comes to mind. I seem to name a lot of animals around here.
Yeah. Do you name all the cats?
I used to. They got a barn, they got cattle, we'll just leave it here while this poor little kitten shows up, and he's a good size, but almost as big as what we got. But he's just racking bones because he didn't know how to feed himself. He's probably been looked after, and then all of a sudden he gets dumped in the country and he doesn't know how to hunt. And so he shows up at our place, a rack of bones. So we started giving him milk and feeding him, and then we started carrying him up the haymow chute, and Jeff would find the nest of rats, and we'd wiggle our fingers under the nest of rats, and the cat would jump in there thinking that he had all these mice he'd killed. So anyways, he was doing his business, but after a while all you had to do was open the chute and the cat was gone up the haymow. And he was attacking his rats, which were already dead. But he turned into a solid, well-built tomcat by the next spring. But anyways.
I get the impression that, you know, the ice farm is, as I call it, is just one of many, I don't want to say schemes because that sounds nefarious, but one of the many business ventures that Harold has picked up or seen over the years. How do you manage all those big dreams and aspirations?
Well, there's some of his ideas are actually pretty good ideas where I could see it working if we were younger, but one idea he had was to grow Christmas trees into different pots and then rent them at Christmas time, which I thought would actually work.
Yeah.
So I
If
thought that was
people
kind of a
want
cool
to-
idea. If they wanted a real Christmas tree and didn't want to go cut one down, they could just rent a Christmas tree. We'd deliver it already decorated and then bring it back home, and when it got too big, we'd plant it.
And this is one of the last days and the last year of Jack Frost's operation in your hands. What made you want to sell the business?
Well, Harold says we're aging out.
We aged out,
Yeah.
plain and simple.
So the ice is pretty busy. It's really busy in the summertime, and it's the bins are heavy, so it's probably a good time. As it gets busier, somebody else can make it grow.
We're at a point right now in the business where we don't need to make any more investments. We can just ride along with what we've got. We don't need to expand. We don't really want to expand, but we simply can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Physically not able to do it. I caved in first, and she's not far behind me. She's not able to do it anymore either, because as you know, it isn't easy.
No. I've been to physiotherapy after this job.
Well, people, if you don't think that if you think it's easy, it is a long ways from easy. So yes, you do well, and you make a living at it, but no, it's just like any other job. If it were easy, everybody could do it, I suppose.
It'll be different for them.
Be quiet.
Yeah. Especially Diana, where she goes and goes. Well, she got the grandkids now, so that'll keep her going.
And how do you feel about parting ways with Jack?
Good and bad. It's a business that when you go to a store, everybody kind of like cheers, yeah, she's here, or they're here. And I think it'll be sad seeing not being able to go to different businesses all the time, but or seeing the kids in the mornings and nights. I'll definitely miss the kids being here, and yeah, so that'll be different.
Your body's just done. So the rocking chair gets a workout, and the other rocking chair gets a workout, and the rocking chair in there gets a workout. So that's about it. I'd just like to go for a drive now and see what's around.
It's kind of like Diane and Harold's thing. Ice was their thing. They did a good job at it. So, I will see how this guy makes out. But There's not too many people who are like Diane and Harold that would go. When somebody called, I think it was a minimum 30 bags, they went.
2, 1, 2, 3.